Hey guys, Jonah here. Welcome to another beer review. And I'm fair getting through them, and there's one on the way, but I've got another one from the Scandinavian beer box from those people up in Scotland, Beer 52. This one's from Sweden. And I put the magazine down because there's nothing really about this brewery, so I've had to go do a bit of searching. And it's a very weird name, Himlenbryg. And the beer is called Tyttebær, Tytty-beer Pale Ale. Nice. And there's sort of psychedelic people in a pub. There's someone sort of bending over there. Someone with a snooker cue and sort of in the pool or something. I don't know. God knows whatever that is. Who knows? But there it is. Himlenbryg, Tytty-beer, pale ale, 4% on the ABV. We have got barley, wheat, and oats in there. The hops, I believe, are Simcoe, and it says made in the EU and then shipped in by Beer 52. However, I know for a fact that these guys, because they're only founded in 2022, and they're just contract brewing at the moment. So they're not actually, they haven't got a brewery. They're brewing at other people's breweries. And it could be that it's made in Europe, but I very much suspect, because of the sneakiness that goes on with these type of things, I wouldn't be surprised if this was brewed somewhere in the UK. Anyway, it's a pale ale, so they got that right. They're not calling it an IPA, which is fantastic. Simcoe, not so good for me. Right, let us get this bad boy. Smells nice. Let's get this bad boy into a glass, and we will see. What we get. I've got a feeling this is going to be a hazy pale. And what I'm going to try and do is stop it before all the gunk comes out, if there is any. Oh no, not too bad this time round. Right, let's put that down. As usual, there's some crazy carbonation coming off this glass. I think I might steep this glass and clean it out completely, because the last few beers have got this crazy amount of carbonation. And I don't know if you can see, but it's all coming from sort of around the bottom here. Is there something wrong with my glass? I don't know. So well over a finger. Getting on for two. That's 1 3/4, and it's fluffy, pure as the driven snow, white head, looking like a fluffy cloud, which I think is pretty good. All right, let us do one of these. Get that name in there, Himlenbryg. Himlenbryg. I don't know, man. It's a weird name. But when in Sweden, oh, interesting. I've got a bit of a floral note, but I've also got that kind of orange citrus stroke grapefruity kind of thing. But it's very kind of floral and flowery as well. I don't know, because so many beers use Simcoe. I don't know if I could definitely go, oh yeah, this 100% is Simcoe only and not another hop used. But yeah, let's see what we get. Cheers and beers, dear viewer. Apparently, someone was saying that I haven't embedded something into my YouTube video, so it's not even worth you subscribing. But if you want to, click the subscribe, click the like, all that kind of jazz. Who knows if it makes any difference or not? I don't know. I'm not an expert on these things. I just like drinking beer, and it's the weekend, so come on. Ooh, interesting. There's something there's something different at play here. It might be the yeast. I almost said Kvike yeast, but it's not quite there. You haven't got that Kvike kind of bitterness that you get sometimes. But it's definitely along those, along that path. So I suspect they haven't used a conventional yeast with this thing. And hey, when you're in Sweden, that's not too far away from kind of Norway. So is this a Swedish farmhouse strain or something like that that we don't know about? Um, it is very smooth, and that's obviously coming from the wheat and from the oats, and also the fact that it is quite cloudy. Um, that's coming from there too. Um, there is a little bit of kind of greenery around the hops too. I'm pretty sure this is not a pure Simcoe. There's something else in there, but it's quite light, which is interesting, because that kind of says to me that they haven't used that much, or perhaps they've used it at a weird time. Not hugely bitter on the upfront, nice and smooth on the aftertaste, so that's pretty good, eh? It definitely has got that kind of citrusy thing going on, but it's almost like there's a little bit of peachiness in the background, and things like that suggest the old school hop like Cascade or something like that. I even get that a bit from East Kent Goldings. Who knows what is in here? But it's nice. It's not overpowering like a lot of the modern style kind of, dare I say, session IPAs. They make them quite strong. This is not. This is nice and mellow, nice and balanced. Tiny bit sweet as well, which is good. Um, yeah, tiny bit fruity for my liking. I was thinking about this the other day, dear viewer. Um, I don't know if I could really session um, these new style hazy IPA stroke IPAs. I can have one. I could even have a pint. That wouldn't be a problem. Um, but trying to drink loads of those all night, and they're ridiculously fruity and that kind of stuff, I think it would do funny things with my brain. Um, and I've been drinking a lot of cider lately. Apparently that does funny things to my brain too. Well, I hadn't noticed that before, but look, there is definitely quite a high. There isn't one up there, so I wonder what happened to the second line. Um, but a good staple line of line of head. All good. Oh, look at the way it runs down the back of the glass. That's a good sign too. Oh, and there's the other line. Look, there's the third line. I've even got a tiny bit left in the glass for Ron later on. But that is not too bad. For a Simcoe beer, and I don't really like Simcoe because it's far too juicy. I like the more creamy kind of ones. And this is not too bad at all. If it is 100% Simcoe, which I'm not 100% convinced. But there we go. Himlenbryg, uh, Tytty-beer, pale ale. Very, very cool. I'm actually liking that more than I thought I was going to. And it's only 4%, so what am I doing? It's the weekend. I should be cracking out the bad boys. But anyway, dear viewer, that's for later on. Why don't you drink some beer tonight and over the weekend? Makes you smarter and all that kind of stuff. But don't fear, because Uncle Jonna will return with another beer review real soon.